We spend our days bouncing between notifications, deadlines, and a constant hum of low-level anxiety. We crave a quiet mind, but we assume the only way to get it is to retreat from our daily responsibilities. The chaotic, mundane chores of your day are actually the tools needed to build continuous spiritual peace. In 1685, a French monk known as Brother Lawrence wrote a series of letters to his friends. He didn't outline a complex theological treatise. Instead, he detailed a surprisingly simple, highly practical mental framework that solves this exact problem of modern disconnect. Brother Lawrence defines practicing the presence of God as a continuous, actionable state of mind. It requires anchoring your attention to God while you are actively washing dishes, answering emails, or sitting in traffic. We are going to extract the core instructions from his 17th century letters and translate them into a 5-step daily presence protocol. You can install this mental workflow into your life today. Adopting this 300-year-old mindset shift cuts through the noise. It addresses daily distraction by using the work itself as the trigger to refocus. Before we begin step 1, we have to establish your baseline motivation. If you are looking for a life hack to reduce your blood pressure or feel a sense of personal joy, this will fail. Brother Lawrence is clear. The singular goal of this practice is a genuine desire to love God and do what pleases Him. Step 1 is to empty the heart. You cannot install new software on a hard drive that is already full. To practice His presence, you have to clear the workspace. God requires exclusive space in your mind to work freely. If your attention is already occupied, He cannot take up residence there. Creating this space requires a specific sacrifice. You have to make the conscious decision to pause or abandon the unnecessary worldly entertainments that constantly crowd your mental bandwidth. You are trading endless scrolling and distraction for clarity. That brings us to step 2, the resolution. This is a firm, instantaneous pivot of your will. You make a definitive decision right now that you will no longer intentionally leave His presence, and you will spend the rest of your time living directly before Him. Preparing for this state is a process of subtraction. You are removing the competing noise, rather than adding another heavy, burdensome task to your already busy schedule. Step 3 is holy freedom. You apply this by performing your normal, everyday tasks faithfully, without letting them cause internal agitation or panic. You do the work in front of you quietly and steadily. While you work, drop all the intense spiritual systems and rigid formulas. You do not need a complicated routine to speak to God. Leaning too heavily on rigid structures often creates more anxiety. The ordinary work itself becomes your spiritual practice. When you perform a mundane task with the right underlying intention of serving Him, the action is elevated. As your conscious mind engages with your task, maintain a subtle background loop of communication. Offer a quick word of praise, a moment of gratitude, or simply dedicate the effort of the work as a sacrifice to Him. God Himself is the ultimate objective. Once you establish that continuous, quiet connection throughout your workday, the specific methods you use to get there no longer matter. You will hit a point of failure. Your human mind is going to naturally wander away from this quiet presence as the demands of the day pile up. When this happens, do not get angry at yourself. Getting frustrated at your own distraction is a secondary, more damaging distraction. It shifts your focus onto your own failure instead of back to God. This visual represents what happens next. Here we implement step 4, the gentle recall. When you notice that your attention has drifted away, simply acknowledge it without any self-judgment. The execution here is crucial. Do not harshly snap your mind back into place or punish yourself. Softly and quietly call your attention back to the center, returning your focus to Him in complete peace. The act of failing, catching the drift, and gently returning is the actual practice. You are shifting your goal away from flawless perfection and moving toward resilient persistence. Step 5 is push through the resistance. Your natural inclinations will actively fight this new mental state. Your brain is wired to prefer highly stimulating distractions over quiet focus. You will quickly encounter a specific psychological trap. Especially in the early stages, the constant effort of monitoring your attention is going to feel like a waste of time. it will feel heavy and unnatural. Ignore this early friction completely. Brother Lawrence explicitly instructs his friends to push past this difficulty and preserve this habit firmly, even until the end of their lives. He makes a very clear promise. If you push through this initial barrier, the long-term payoff is unmatched. Nothing in this world compares to the continuous sweetness and joy of walking daily with him. Consistency inevitably overrides your biological resistance. What begins as a highly difficult, conscious effort will eventually settle in to become your effortless baseline state. Let's review the complete framework on this checklist. Step 1, empty your heart of competing noise. Step 2, make the firm resolution to stay in his presence. Step 3, apply holy freedom to your daily work. Step 4, master the gentle recall when your mind wanders. And Step 5, push through the resistance. You now possess the exact tool you need. You can take the most tedious, mundane moments of your routine and transform them into periods of profound spiritual focus. If you feel like you are starting this practice too late in life, listen to the exact advice Brother Lawrence gave to his aging friend. Doing it late is always better than never. Apply this exact protocol to the very next physical action you take today, no matter how trivial or boring it seems. Intentional presence creates a direct path between profound monastic wisdom and a modern, busy life. Taking the next step with awareness builds that connection.
For more spiritual resources, visit lokaken.ai.